this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Gina, and today we're going to do a reveal on what's in this jar. I bought this at the Salvation Army yesterday, and it has the word good on it. And I just happen to know the lady that was there, and I asked her if she put it together, and she said yes. So we're going to find out just how good it is. And I think she was serious about what she said. I've known her for a little while. She's really friendly. So we'll give it just a few minutes for people to come in. It's a beautiful day here in Henryville, and the sun is shining. It's about 80 degrees, and summer's on the way. But anyway, looking at the jar just at first glance, there's something I noticed right there in that heart. That is Mary Kay Ash of Mary Kay. I did notice that. I looked at that and I said, well, that person looks familiar, and it's Mary Kay Ash. So I hope this is as good as the top indicates. On the top, it was $30, and it was the last one in the store, and I just happened to be there, and I'd been looking for one for some time, and I've seen one months ago, and it didn't really look like it had all that much in it. We kind of look through the jars to see if we see any silver or anything. It just didn't have anything in it that I felt like, hi, Papa Jim's, that I felt like was worthy. So I saw this one, and I guess they had been out a couple hours, and I thought, this is my opportunity, is knocking. So I went ahead and picked it up, and it said good on the top. So we're just going to find out how good this really is. So when the lady, I asked her, I said, did you put this together? And she said, yes. And she goes, it's really good. It's really good. So, and she looked directly at me. When people look you in the face, they're telling the truth. So if she would have glanced off, I would have thought otherwise. I do know a lot about body language. It helps a lot. And I have been taught graphoanalysis as well. So what that is, a lot of times the police use that to catch people who forge. Well, I can tell quite a bit about a person's signature because I was taught how to do it. And anyway, so Papa Jim's, you having a good day today? Everything going well for you? I hope so. But I got up rather early, and then I took a nap, and my naps are like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I woke up and I said, oh my God, it wasn't, I still had 3 or 4 hours, but this is what it says on the front of it. It says good. So I do know that they did remodel their store recently, and they may have had umpteen things in the back that they had to go through, and they just, I trust that I already see some carnelian in here, and it's possible silver in here. So I'm excited. And I was thinking about this last night, and I said, no, you're not opening that. I'm working on that fire agate I got from Sheena. I bet that's beautiful. I bet that is one beautiful stone. So we'll give it just a few more minutes because I can't take it anymore. I got to get in this jar. But it does look promising. Of course, you do get your little plastic stretchy bracelets in here, but that's all part of it. But I was really excited, and I didn't want to open it because I told them that I was going to do a video on it on YouTube. So they probably thought, I'm glad there's good stuff in there. But anyway, we'll give it just a few more minutes. This is what we have right here. and just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I told it, the thing I saw, if I can show it to you, that 75 on the bottom, more than likely whatever that was came out of the jewelry display, and it was $75, unless it was, I do know they have numbers that they use daily that have discounts, but that looks like a jewelry, the thing they put on their jewelry. So I'm hoping it's a good thing. So, but it's got a little angel coin in there as well, right there. I was excited about that. So, without further ado, they'll come in, I'm sure, later. Hi, Jason. Welcome in. Jason. Yes, I am wearing red again today. You know, when I'm wearing red, I'm feeling extra feisty, right? But anyway, I'm going to crack this open because I just can't stand it anymore. So, like I said, she said it was good, and we're going to find out. So, let me cut this without, maybe I can just take the tape off. I don't want to damage anything. So, right away, I do see carnelian in this right off the bat. So, good. They taped it for real here, y'all. Okay, we'll get this. We will get started on this. And I do see carnelian. I think it's awfully stretchy, but I do think it's carnelian. Let me take a look at it. It looks like carnelian, and someone made a necklace, but it's like stretched to oblivion. But anyway, yeah, I think that is carnelian. Let's see, we may have to, I think, test for it. But it looks an awful lot like little carnelians. Yes, sir. I knew that had a lip on it, and I put that pool noodle around it because, that's gonna, if you don't prepare for that, it's gonna break. You just put that pool noodle, and then I made kind of a cradle underneath it, and I'm glad you enjoy it. Glad you enjoy it. But these are carnelian, but like I said, this will come apart, and I will do something else with it. I think this was a rookie that, thank you. I think this is a rookie that did this. But we still have carnelian. Man, you can use that as I don't know what. But anyway, hi, Big Sky. Welcome in, sweetie. But this jar did say good on the top of it, and let's hope. I mean, I know the lady, and I've spoke with her many times, and she looked me right in the face, and I know she was telling the truth when she did it, because I'm good at that body language, trust me. But anyway, that was piece number one. Like I said, it's got carnelian on it. We'll redo that. Okay, next up we have, these are probably faux. Let me do the scratch test. Yep, they're faux. There's no grittiness involved. Let me see. They're strung awfully tight, but they are not knotted at all. And this is the color of them. This might be an older one. I don't know. But they're definitely not real pearls. Then we get these little doodads in there, and it says Michelle on it. I do know some Michelles. Then, of course, we get these little bangles that everybody gets in their lots, as usual. There's a pin. Just little bangles. A lot of times you can take these little bangles and wrap and make little wreaths. Hi, Mitch. Welcome in, sweetie. And make wreaths out of these and crochet them. So that, and they're not silver, I can tell you that right now. That's as obvious as can be. All right, we have a marked brooch right here. And what it says on the back is, it says, wearing contacts you don't see as well. It is marked. That drives me nuts when that happens. Hang on just a second. Now, come on, let's get in focus here. It is, it's terrible. That makes it worse. Okay, let me see. I can see that something that drives me bananas. But it is marked and I can't tell what it says. Maybe that's just where it's constructed. But here's the back of it. Looks to be in pretty decent shape. And this one was $30. And you know yourself, if you buy a lot from somebody and you got people bidding, you're going to pay a lot more than that. And you may not get as good as stuff. So I like to go in. It may be the construction of it. My bestie's here sleeping. I've been up to all my jewelry purchases. She is gobsmacked. We just did a Sheena. I bet, Mitch. I bet. It was probably pretty exciting, wasn't it? It's in relatively good shape. Here's the back of it. However, that's what I was trying to see. That right there is driving me bananas. I don't know if that's where it's constructed. They put those things so close together. It gets on my nerves. But anyway, it might be just where it's constructed. It looked marked, but it's pretty kind of one of those. I don't think it's vintage. Number one, the pin does not extend beyond the clasp, and it doesn't have that look of an older brooch. So next up we have this, it's a hair thingy, stretchy for someone's hair. Next up we have a cuff link, and it appears to have a golfer on it. Let's see if that's marked, y'all. That's odd. I'd never seen him with a golfer on it before. All right, let me pull that in. Push this up. Now, daggone it. I'm getting serious here. I'm pulling this thing over, and if I can't see, I'm half blind. This is enough is enough. Now, let's look at it. All right, this is a cuff link, and it does have a golfer on it, and it is marked Swank, S-W-A-N-K, Swanks, S-W-A-N-X. These are, I don't know if the other one's in here or not, but it is a cuff link. It looks to be a golfer on it. Very different. Really never seen one like that. Here's the mark on the back. I don't know if you can see it or not. It says Swanks. I have a problem with this camera focusing. But anyway, that's kind of neat. Let's hope we have the other one, and I'll have to look it up to see if it's really worth anything. Okay. Oh, one of these. We got a brooch here. It has a little bell on the back of it. We have some missing stones. This would be a good one for harvest right there. See those stones missing? It's got some little tiny ones that would be good for like harvesting. It does have a bale on it, and there's the back of it. It's not old. They probably put the good stuff on the bottom, right? So, oh, here's the mate to that cufflink. Isn't that neat? Let's pull that off. So we have a pair. Someone must have been an avid golfer. So there's a pair right there. So it's very different. All right. Man, that flew out of there. This is just some kind of little bangle with this, something you see in a lot of them that you get that's, it's not too bad, but somebody might want it. And here's a little string of they're just little acrylic beads. Those could be used for crafting. Missing stones, missing stones. So here's a bracelet here. I guess if you could find those stones, like would fit right in the middle there, are the hardest stones to find. Trust me, I've looked for them. It appears that it has 0 in it, so I guess you could make whatever you wanted to. It is gold tone. It is not marked, but she better not have told me no tale. I'm gonna have to go in there and speak my mind, and we know I don't even have any problem doing that. Here's another one that has missing stones. Maybe the good stuff's toward the bottom. Do you think, you guys? Like I said, you could harvest these little stones out of there. And next up we have, it looks to have been a brooch at one time. You've got your little, that's a faux pearl in there. I guess if you wanted to get real creative, you could fix your own brooch. There's the back of it. That is not a real pearl. I'm hoping we're getting down to the good stuff. Oh man, what's this? I don't even know what this is. Take a look at this, guys. Number one, there's stones missing in it right there. And it's got these, they're really sharp. I don't know what they are, but they are really, really sharp. So it kind of has that, I don't know what that was. It's got a little, but it's got some, it's missing some stones right at the top. So we'll have to see if the other one's in there. But that is weird. It's got 2 of the sharpest little prongs on it you have ever seen. So I don't know what that is. Let's put that over to the side and wait and see if this one, I knew when I looked through the jar. I'm sure everyone recognizes this lady right here. I don't know if she's still living or not. That's Mary Kay. Someone may have, let me see if it's silver or anything. Nope. But it's got some, looks like all this, well, there's a stone or 2 missing, but that's Mary Kay Ash, the founder of Mary Kay. I never liked Mary Kay. Not her, her makeup, and it was high dollar, but that's her right there. I think I'm not sure if she's alive or not. This is pretty. This is a bookmark with a vintage lady's face on it. Up through there. It's in excellent condition. It's not marked or anything. As a matter of fact, take a look at it. It's pretty though. Mark your book in style, right? She's got a really pretty face. Moving on. This is really heavy. Let me see if the stones are in here. It's almost like, I don't see any stainless steel marking. We do have some missing stones, but it's a heavy bracelet right there. It's pretty heavy. Let's see, I do see some missing stones. There's one missing stone, two missing stones, three missing stones. But the stones in it are rather nice. They have a little bling to them. There's that. And next up, we have this Christmas tree, which all the enamel's coming off of. It is an older one, I think, by the way it's constructed. But the enamel is coming off of that. Here's the back of it. It could be an older one by the way it's constructed. I'm not for sure. But there's that one. Move it in right there. That's where it's constructed. Looks like it may have been soldered in there. Ooh. Somebody left their DNA. There's a big long hair in there. Oh, wow, this one's pretty and it's old. Please have all the stones. Please have all the stones. We do have some, we got two missing ones that look like an eye. But it's an older one, definitely. You can tell by that in the back. This is what it looks like. I might be able to kind of work on it. But, like I said, those stones are right there, are hard to replace. Now, Sheena may have some of them. Okay, next up we have, these are knotted in between. It has a really pretty clasp on it. Let me rub them together and see if they're pearls. I'm not going to put my mouth on that. No telling what. Nope, they're not real, but they're they're faux pearls. Kind of a choker style. Let me see if that clasp works. Yeah, I kind of get leery of. Well, I hope I ain't looking at no craft stuff, because that may need a little bit of work. It's not but they're kind of pretty. They look real, but they're not. You can spot those a mile away. But there's that one. All right. So next up we have this one. It looks to be a necklace. Let's see if it's marked anything. No, it's not marked. I have a little neck, and you'd have to put an extender on that thing to wear it. My neck is not big at all, but that thing is really tight. There's that one. And we have a unicorn keychain. Very brightly colored. Hi, Pink Rose. Welcome in. Oh, no, you can't really afford to. All right. Now, I hope this gets better as we go on, because I'm not really, that looks like an anklet to me. You have a little butterfly on it, little flower. Right there, it's an anklet. It needs in severe need of cleaning. There's the chain on it. There's that one. Alrighty then, we have a stretch bracelet that is a cross with multiple missing stones out of it. That can go into a craft thingy. Then we have this little thing here. It's really not big enough to be anything, because my wrist is small, but it's not that small. It's kind of like your gold tone faux pearls. I don't see any markings on it. Like I said, I hope it gets better, because I'm not impressed so far. Okay. So you can't always go in there and get the good stuff immediately. You have to dig for it. Alrighty then. We live in the real world, right? Let's see here. This is a pretty necklace. I wonder if you can repair that. This was in here, and it's really pretty, but I don't know if that could be repaired or not. It looks like it's in a little quandary here. And, that would be beautiful if that, I don't know if that could be repaired or not. Here's the other part of it. They best not be putting broken jewelry in my jar. If jewelry's broke, it should be marked as craft. Not older than I thought. Okay, Mary Kay Ash died 11/22/01. She was 83. She was a lot older than I thought. Oh, wow. But that was kind of pretty, if a person can get this other part back on here. Let me see how it's constructed. That part right there is missing, and the rest of it's in really good shape. The bottom part. I hope we get something good, or somebody's going to get a lecture, I guarantee you. Okay, we have this little teddy bear stretch bracelet. And we're still waiting for the good, right, ladies and gentlemen? It's a little teddy bear, little plastic. You guys are probably saying that girl is tell a person in a minute. Let's see. This one is Royal at Adderley's Floral, made in England. It's pretty, but it's got some things broken off of it. Right there. And here's the back of it. There is the pen does go a little bit further. It does appear to be a little bit older. Hi, Sheena. Welcome in, sweetie. We're looking at a Salvation Army deal here. Royal Adderley Floral. Made in England. Wouldn't that be nice if that was intact like it should be, but it is not. It's a real pretty delicate rose. What's so funny, Papa? But isn't that pretty? It was from the Royal Adderley Floral. Now that's did some traveling. Ouch. Okay. All right, we have something broken. And it doesn't appear, let me see, it has a tag on it. I have a feeling I'm going to really go down there and voice my opinion. It's a Napier, but it's broken. But I think the other part of it's in there, but it is a Napier. They should have labeled this as craft, because I'm really getting aggravated about now. This, I've never seen one like this. This here is a Scrabble block, and it's got a K on the front of it. It's on a bead ball chain. I guess all the good stuff's down at the bottom, right? Here, I'm going to just dump it right here, right now, because I want the good stuff. Of course, you can want all you want. That don't mean you're going to get. So here we go. We're jumping her down. So, I like these little face brooches. Isn't that pretty? There she is with her fur hat. Let's see. Something missing on that. Looks like a big blob of glue, but there she is with her fur hat, and there's her little face. All right, we're still looking for the goods. Okay. If somebody told me something to make just to make a sale, I'm gonna call them out real quick. Okay, this is kind of reminds me of pewter type little butterfly right there. I'm sure those are faux pearls. Here's the back of it. Huh. I found some stones in here. Maybe might go to some of those other. All right, let's keep going here. All is not lost yet. Yet being the operative word. These are green glass beads here. It's a bracelet. It's got a little chain on it there. That's not, those are glass, but that is not, no, they're kind of, I think they're kind of, yeah, they're glass, but that is not aventurine in any form or fashion. Okay. If you guys hear a sound, it sounds like the Wicked Witch on her broom. Da, 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 da. That's me going to that back to that, and I am not happy. So something better happen. So there's a coin that has an angel on it. There's the side of it. Their definition of good and my definition must be two different things. Okay, let's keep going. So we have this, well, that's broken as well. So this should have really been sold as a craft lot. We have, this is sad, y'all. Look at this. This lady right here. I tell you, I'd be ashamed to pass this off on somebody. So this lady must have passed away forever in our hearts. And this is the lady right here. That's interesting how that was probably offered at the funeral home, I bet. So, I don't even know what that is. Some kind of piece of metal or something. So there's that. So we have a pair of pierced earrings. They're heavy, kind of 70-ish looking to me, pierced right there. And have these little, this is not, it's got a neat clasp on it. God, they're kind of nasty. Let's see. No, they're not pearls. And there was something attached to it and it's been broken, but there's the clasp part of it right there. It's not too bad. Right there. Let's see if I see anything on there. Here I thought I was going to pop this thing open. It was going to be good. And let me see this. Nope, it doesn't say silver on it. So next up, I do have something else to show you that was pretty nice, or I thought it was. This is a mad, tangled mess, which obviously turned out to be the best trip of the day yesterday when I was out. Let's see. Tangled, tangled, tangled. Let's see. Alrighty then. Let's see. This is gold toned. If I can ever get it apart, it looks like little. They should have just threw $100 bill in here, and then I would have felt like I broke it. No, I'm kidding. Like, shoot. Boy, these tangles are something. I mean, you expect to get tangles, but yeah, I thought there would at least be sterling silver in here. My goodness. Sometimes when you deal in good faith, your faith is not that the person you're dealing with, their faith is like zero and none. They ought to know I'll be coming back to say, what's up, people? What's up? You said it was good. Well, your version of good and mine are two different things. This should have been a craft jar. You know what's so odd? A lot of times you find things in a craft jar better than what you would find in one that they had marked. This is like a bracelet that's got an infinity on it. Right here it is gold toned. Excuse me, y'all. I've got allergies and I'm going to have to. There we go. So it's got a little heart dangle on it right there. Kind of a delicate little bracelet. It's not marked anything, that's for sure. Okay, let's see here. What in the world is that? Might ought to check it for silver. It might be. It's nasty. That's a wannabe dyed howlite. But anyway, it's got this little thing on it here. I have no idea what is going on here. But it's got these little charms on it right there. I don't know what it is. Too big for a bracelet. Got a heart on it. I don't know. Might clean it up and see what we have. Let's see. Those do not come off. But anyway, there's that. It's very dirty. I'm not seeing the goodness in here yet. So here is the other piece. Looks to be the other piece of that Napier bracelet. Or that necklace. See, it's broke right there. I'll go down there and they'll give me a total new jar just to get me out of there. Because I'll be telling it. I'll be keeping it real going down there. This should have definitely been a craft lot because there's just too much. Here's a piece of advice. If you ever want a good jewelry lot, buy it from Sheena. Because you ain't going to get it nowhere else. She's got good stuff. That's what happens when you trust people and they turn out to. Let's see. This is a tangled mess, basically. Yeah, it's always a gamble. And then when they mark good on the front of it, their version of good and mine must be two different things. But, sometimes they take like things that didn't sell that was in the case sometimes and put them in these. But it's a gamble. That's a big, hot, tangled train wreck. Then we have these wooden type beads right there strung up like that. That would be good for a macrame project. All right. Hmm. Then we have a clamper. Nope, you can see that copper coming through it. So it was silver toned. And there's the clamper. It's kind of dirty. There's the opening right there. That looks like that possibly looks like enamel, but when at the end of the day, when you clean that up and the copper showing through, you know exactly what that is. Then, well, that's kind of neat. We have a 70s earring here. It is a clip earring. There's the back of it. Side clip earring. There's that. And the cufflinks were interesting, I must admit. Okay, let's see what this is. This is a little pave heart. Let's see, what's that? And I don't think that chain is silver whatsoever. Little pave, little heart. Shay wants it out of her closet. Thank you, box and ship it next week. Thank you, Sheena. Daggone them. They told me, and they had the word good marked on there. I'm like, what? Here's what they had on there. Their definition of good and my definition are definitely different. So here's one that's not too bad. It's got cat's eye, little stretch. Probably needs to be restrung. There's little white beads. Oh, Lord. Here I was all. That's why I was going to do this on a live because I thought it was good and I thought there was something in there. When they see me coming, they'll probably all run to the back. No, I'm kidding. Here's something with an H. Ooh, look at my hands. There's something with an H on it. Here's a bundle of costume metal, just regular metal bracelets here. Here's one of those chokers that you've seen the younger people wearing. It's stretchy. Let's see here. Here's a little, wonder if the other one's in there. It's kind of pretty. Probably not. Let me move that way in. There's that stone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hashtag. They shouldn't be telling tales up in there neither. It should have been 15. Really be sure and hashtag them in a video. Yep. They're going to hear about it. There's a nurse pin. Yeah, because if you mark good on something, you best know what you're talking about or don't mark it at all. Here's a little singular dangle earring right there. The only thing, then here's something here. They're knotted in between with little, I'm not for sure. I think these are glass and there's little yellow. At first I thought the little yellow beads were dirt, but here's that. Yep. I told them what I was going to do. I said, I'm going to reveal this on YouTube. And probably I come in there, they'd probably be running like rats toward the back. But anyway, you know, you can't always I didn't expect to get everything, but I did expect to get something. Now, come on, people. But here, these were different. They're what was that? Cufflinks, and they're golfers, and they were both in there. I guess they connect back here. They will be hiding in the clothes. I'll go in there and I have a way of shaking out the sheets when I go in there. But these aren't too bad. I mean, if they was silver, that would have been even better. But there are a pair. Okay, on a better note, and Sheena, I understand your pain when you got that box from Goodwill, and I could imagine what was going through your mind. But you were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I can't even think right now. My mind went blank. But we do get things like this. But my goodness, some people, if I worked in a place like that and I said something like that, I wouldn't. I'd have said, "Hey, I just work here. I don't know what's in it. Hi, Brian. Good to see you. I don't know what's in this, and unless you know exactly what's in something, don't you know." Man, good. I think that was a sales ploy, a marketing ploy. But anyway, the beat goes on. Sometimes they said there'd be days like that. I thought this was kind of pretty too. It's a bookmarker. It's in real good shape. But that's why it's always good to really. You ever heard the saying, "A burnt child fears fire"? That would be this jar right here. But anyway, back on it. I found a Betsey Johnson purse. The tips of this stick up because that's the way it looks. Look at that. Look at that Betsey Johnson insignia on that. And I only paid $14 for it. There's that Betsey Johnson. And here you have the lining of it. It's got Betsey Johnson in there. And I only paid $14. Betsey Johnson. Oh, I know you went through a lot because of that. But this is kind of, there's really no wear on the handles. Yeah. And it's a very cute little purse. But I think that's really kind of the style of it, unless I need to work with it. But isn't that pretty? A big Betsey Johnson. It's got all this gold hardware on it. Got that little heart on it right there. Yeah, it is cute, and it was only $14.77. But yeah, I thought this was really cute, and that was really the only thing that. But anyway, here's a public service announcement. If you ever want good jewelry, a lot. See that beautiful lady down there named Sheena? Buy one from her. Because she's not gonna lead you astray. She's very straight up. Buy one from her because let me tell you something. You get the term being bent over gives a whole new meaning after that right there. But anyway, I kind of had a little meltdown there for just a second because I'm like that. I just tell it like it is, and that's the way it is. And, you can't really, he's laughing. Hey, Marzita, welcome in. Marzita, honey, you didn't miss not one except for this. A Betsey Johnson purse, and I thought this was so awesome. There's your little Betsey Johnson thingy right there. There's that on the back. Betsey Johnson. Beautiful interior on it. Okay, I'll stop. What if someone likes? No comment. I can't tell you. I was going to say something and Jason made me forget. 4 years old, so the old stuff is even older. Yeah. I think what they did, how dare they? Oh, there was broken, that should have been a craft lot. That really should have been a craft lot. This should have been a craft lot. There's no doubt in my mind. There was a brooch in here that was okay. Lots of missing stones. Really, yacht. Oh, what's the name of that game? You know what I'm talking about, y'all. Use those little squares. Oh, I can't even think. Scrabble. I get an word, censor yourself. Yes, I did censor myself. But yeah, we have a Scrabble tile. Sometimes comments are left open for interpretation. It's all how you look at it, right? Scrabble. Now that is so original. Isn't that wonderful? But anyway, but no, if you want something marvelous, down there, Sheena right there is the one to get it from. Scrabble. But mercy. We have any golfers out there in the chat? Any guys out there that like golf? Here's a fancy smancy pair of cufflinks. And these are in good shape, and they were marked Swanks or whatever. But we have twins. Jason says, Gina, you need Sheena's bell to silence me. No, a muzzle might come in handy. No, I'm kidding. One clang, one ding, and I go silent. In an hour, Jason can be naughty. He might be, because if he's just, well, I think what it is, he's so used to being in his videos very professional, and he wants to let his hair down every now and then, right, Jason? But I really do. I think Jason, he probably has to be professional at work, and he's like that in his videos. So there comes a time when we got to say, I'm brushing that off and I'm going to misbehave. But am I right, Jason? Is that the appropriate term for that? Yeah, I've seen some like the Goodwill boxes. I've seen some fantastic ones, and I have seen some that are terrible. And you are on to something. Yep, I was right. Thank you, Jason. Check mark. But anyway, I think a lot of them, there's no way that of course, it only took one to teach me that valuable lesson. But you see these people get sterling silver, some of them get gold, all these gemstones. Now there's something, are we just unlucky, or is there something behind that? Because that's odd, It's Goodwill, that's the way of the world. Everybody is so freaking greedy, and they want to throw off a piece of something that belongs in a craft box. I don't think so. But thank goodness we have Sheena, because that's what I love about Sheena, and that's where we're a lot alike. We tell it like it is. We try to be very, I can't even think of the word, very kind about it. But sometimes people will not let you be kind. They keep pressing those buttons until they get the wrong end of the line, and then boom. But anyway, we all have our limits, and we try to be nice. And Jason had an experience the other day where he had to block somebody because they were being a rear end. There's that word again. But yeah, you try to be diplomatic about it. But no, this was, they had craft lots on there and they had this one by itself. So I thought, well, you never know what lies within the middle of this thing. But speaking of the word lie, but yeah, it's a chance, and you're almost better off to go in to buy separate pieces that are pretty good prices than it is almost. They've taken the fun out of buying jewelry jars and stuff like that because you just don't know. You get crap. And actually, Sheena, your Goodwill box was better than this stuff. That's for sure. And that, they test us. I don't like being tested. Yeah, they just keep pushing, pushing, pushing until and see, no one likes to be ugly. You know what I mean? You don't want that side to come out, but people just keep doing it. Yeah. If someone comes into a chat with uh, if they want to get a cheap shot at somebody and stuff like that, that's not good. Yeah, it's not good. I think if you have something really to say to somebody, you should go to their email and you should hash it out there and stuff. But some people just they want to really push themselves, but because people don't care about other people's what's going on with them. That's not why they're in an auction for. They're there to have fun. And some people really, really push that envelope. But anyway, lesson learned. But never in my life have I seen. No wonder her eyes got big. She wasn't telling the truth. Isn't that awful? Isn't that a shame? Oh well, live and learn. But I was so excited and I refrained from getting into this until today. And I thought, wow, we might really have something. But then again, we may not. And that was the case. But like I said, their definition of good and mine are two different things, I guess. But I did find a Betsey Johnson, and it's a pretty good deal on that. Really, it's in decent shape. But I had that happen to my channel in the beginning of my channel, and they just went to my eBay store and caused trouble to where. Oh my goodness, Deb. How petty was that? I'm sorry that happened to you. And when you're new like that and somebody does you like that, it really. I had an experience where I sold this really nice Japanese vase, and it had the little handles on it. And I look up and they send me an email and said those handles were broken, were cracked. I said, send me a picture. And what they had done, I don't know what he done, but you could tell they were glued back on. And it wasn't like that because I'd looked at the video that in which it was sold. He glued those on there. And I refused to give him a refund because I know what he did. So I said, okay, I'll send you a ship. I made him sign for it. I wonder how many things he broke on the way to the door to get that. He lied. He glued that on. I don't know how it happened, but he glued that on. And I know he did because it wasn't like that when it left this house. And he wanted to be all horsey about it and stuff like that. I don't think so. But yeah, he did that. And then me and PayPal, I said, let me tell you something. I said, don't mess with me. I've got too many attorneys. And I said, you were in violation of your own policy. I said, don't push me. And this wasn't in an email. This was on the phone. I said, because you know what? It don't matter where you're at. I got one because of where my husband works in every state. I said, you better get it corrected, because I said, you're on the short end of the stick. You are in violation of your policy. And I know he broke that just as, and then she wanted to raise her voice at me. Well, that was a mistake too. But no, they were in policy of their own thing. But that's terrible. Be careful with Fruit Loops. I got ripped off 500 by a Canadian. Oh no. But I understand, Deb, because when you first get started, you're apprehensive. You want to do everything just right, and along comes I started to say rear end again, and it does something to you psychologically. You know, here you are trying to be the best you can be, and along comes this person. They're not happy, and they want to reflect that off on you and be mean to you, and I don't like that. Be a reseller with the crap I say. Oh no, Sheena, I tell you what. For everything that you've been through, plus your health problems on top of it, you have been very diplomatic about a lot of things. And, you know, we have to forgive people, and that's what God wants us to do. But sometimes people make it really hard. You know, they really do. And, Sheena, you're definitely a survivor. The stuff that you have been through would have probably killed most people, you know. Crazy in Canada. No others ever. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sheena, I'm so sorry. Yes, Sheena is fantastic. She's a wonderful person. She got knocked down several times, but you know what? She got back up, and she's got health. She still has health problems, and she gets back up. You know, she's a fighter, and these days you have to be. But I am so sorry that happened to you, Deb. That's awful. Yes, he really does. And sometimes, you know what they say, time takes care of everything, and it really does. Yeah, and you got your cat back, and I definitely believe that God knew what you needed. He knew your heart. He knew how hurt you were. And he knows you're a genuine person, so he sent you a blessing. I really believe that. And I really do. And he's so pretty, just as black as he can be. Green eyes. My Simon, he had green eyes too. Boy, he was something else. Somebody dumped him out, and he was skinny as a rail. And I was going in somewhere, and these people said, "You want a cat?" And I said, "Where's he at?" And he was weaving around my legs, and skinny little thing. I brought him home, and he was with us for 19 years until he passed. He was something else. He was a guard cat. He would never let any other cat or dog on the property. He pops them. You'd hear something go yelp, and it's where he popped a dog come in the yard, and he popped them right on their nose. I seen him many a time holding another cat off. They was on the line and hissing and carrying on, and he didn't want that cat on our property. So he was a pretty good cat. He just had an attitude. I named him after Simon Cowell because both of them had an attitude, because he was the prettiest black you'd ever seen. Kind of medium length hair, and he'd let you brush him. He was just he was a good cat, and he was very protective. But yeah, he was a good kitty cat. I'd see him get a hold of a cat, he'd wrap his paws around him and go to the ground and kick with his back feet. And he got beat up when I first brought him home. I let him outside, which was a mistake, and a cat beat him up, and he come in. He laid on my bed for 3 days, and then after that, He it kind of turned him into a panther because Buddy, he didn't get beat up no more, but he was just a little guy, and I seen him tear some cats up. He turned into a fighter. And I felt so bad, but he laid on my bed for 3 days. Poor little guy. Then he went out later and thumped some heads of his own. But no, cats they have a personality all of their own. And him and my husband used to sit and eat sardines together. He would eat one, he'd give the cat one, and oh, my house was my grandma. I was 100 years old, and I was in the process of updating it. Oh, wow, Sheena. And it really gets personal when the place is in your family. It really does. Yeah. Because something 100 years old, it's going to require some repairs. When we moved in this one, my husband popcorn 5 ceilings, where you mix that up and it's got the little things in it. You guess I'm part Simon the Cat. I don't know, Jason. We all have attitudes at times, but that's who I named him after, Simon Cowell, because they both had attitudes. Oh, yeah. It does take a lot to update these older homes with the price of, and during the, and prices and stuff are so much higher. And let me get a sip of this. But yeah, it must have been terribly emotional for you to do that. Yeah. We get attached to our pets, but this one, the lady told me, she said, you did more in 2 days than it takes most people 2 weeks to do. I said, well, when you want something, you don't get it with your mouth shut, right? But what was so funny, the company Seminon had it. And see, we got our own realtor. That changes things, because she's in our corner. So the day we went in to sign everything off, and the lady said, well, she said something to me. I said, you got paid $3,000, though, didn't you? Then the lady wouldn't get her stupid sign out of my yard. She was one of those crotchety. She just got mad because she had to split the commission. Well, too bad. And another thing you always got to remember, when you buy a house, you have to specify it's to be cleaned up, or they'll do you like they did us. It took a 20-yard dumpster to clean our basement out. And in the meanwhile, the owner called and said, well, something about the second check. And boy, I was ready for him. I said, let me tell you something. I said, we had to rent a 20-yard dumpster to clean out your mess. And he goes, but I had to put a roof on it. And I said, don't even go there. You were told to put one on it or lower your price. Your check's in the mail. Click. He wasn't going to play me. He wasn't dealing with no dumb female. I done had him dead to right, and I was glad he called, because that was just on the tip of my tongue. It just rolled right out. No, they don't. Actually, she should have been out of here that Monday, but I was nice about it. Then she had the lights turned out, and that really fired me up, because it was in the contract she wasn't supposed to do that. And no wonder, when I come in the house, I understood why. They had a big rug in the dining room. Instead of taking the rug up, they stained around it. And the level of the floor was it wasn't real bad, but it was it was kind of off. So we put industrial carpet down, and there was a truck that was parked, because it was late when I, got here, and there was a truck parked in the driveway with a footed bathtub in it, and all that was mine. And I'll be a monkey's uncle if they didn't come back and get that. I'd have probably probably shot their tires out and then called the police and said, "Come and get this garbage off my property." But no, if whenever you sign a contract and that they say this is the day you take possession, well, it's all yours. Well, they come and got that truck and that footed bathtub, and basically, if I wanted to be hateful, I could have reported it stolen, give them their address. But I had mercy on them. But it was something else. But then she leaves a note in the closet that says, "Didn't have time to clean up. Enjoy." Well, like I was going to go to the closet thinking there was a note in there. Duh. I had a man build a wheelchair ramp and I paid for treated wood. And I didn't get treated wood, I'm afraid. Yeah, you just can't. Well, we had after the tornado in 2012, which worked out in our favor, we had enough money to have the new windows put up here that, they were the rope pulley kind. And the guy that we got, his helper stole one of his real expensive tools and it was on Craigslist, something that was real expensive. And it was on Craigslist. He said this guy, he also went into someone's house and opened up their refrigerator. He said he had to unload him, and then after he stole a piece of his equipment, it was already in stone that he got rid of him. I can't do work for myself. It was 15 years ago. My goodness. But yeah, you can't. Then when the tornado took place, they send these vultures out, is what I call them. And they sent this guy from A Southern Roofing because our roof was damaged, the siding was damaged, the garage siding was damaged, the air conditioning was damaged, and I caught him in a lie. He said, well, I forget what it was about. And I told him, I said, you're a liar. Then I called the insurance company. The first thing she said, he's a liar. So I called up there. I said, if you send him back on my property, he's going to leave on the end of a bullet. I said, you better keep him out of here. I said, I caught him in a lie, and I don't do lies. Because you come on somebody's property, boom, no. Yeah. They said this contractor was crying. I said, well, if he hadn't lied to me, he wouldn't be on the wrong end of a... Then they sent another one, and he goes, I heard you're pretty tough. I said, if I have to be, you're darn right I am. I said, I can be. If you want me to be, I can be. Just screw me over and see how fast it happens. But I know a lot of people are taking the copper out of air conditioning units, the large ones. But yeah, it's really sad. And then you get these people. I know this lady's elderly, and this guy's coming over, and he don't know his rear end from the hole in the ground, and he's doing all this work, and it's not right. And she just keeps letting him come and do it. Well, I'd show him the road, but see, that's a case where someone is preying on an older person, but isn't that awful? But anyway, yeah, meth is around here too. They say that, and then gabapentin, that's another one, and meth, and that fentanyl's really bad. They say there's something fentanyl laced with something else will kill you if you take it. So it's really become a nationwide problem. It's these people that are selling this stuff want to get kids hooked on that because that's their money. That's true. And they want to get the next generation hooked on that stuff because that's their money. If it don't kill them, a dead man or person don't have no money. But anyway, Yeah, it's a national problem. They only arrest people with bail. Yeah, there's a case going on over here right now that this sheriff, he stole a bunch of money, and there was an ambulance business that he was taking money from them under him, his wife, and his daughter are all in the pokey. It started out they was stealing money from the taxpayers, really. And it started out, the judge told him, he said, because went in and got the guns. Well, they turned around and found weapons in his home. And he had to go before that judge, and the judge looked at him. He said, I told you that if you come in here and and if they found anything in your house, he sent him to jail. He didn't send him to Clark County Jail because that's where he was a sheriff. And that judge hit that gavel so hard, I thought he was going to break it. So he went back to jail, but the fire department, he defrauded the fire department. He stole money from the courthouse. I mean, this guy, if he don't get a pretty good sentence, it'll surprise me. His whole family was involved. His wife, she spent money on beauty treatments. The way she looked, she better go back and get her money back because they definitely didn't work. But yeah, even the kid was there, which she's not a kid, stole money as well. So they was it was all good until they got caught. Yeah. So he went back they put him, instead of, because somebody beat his head off if they'd have put him in Clark County, because that's where he was the sheriff. So they had to send him north to Scott County. And I don't know, she looked like she got too much of it. But they had to send him north because somebody to beat the brakes off of him, because he was, they had to put him somewhere else. But they warned him. The judge said, "You are not the law. You are not above the law. And I told you, if we found anything else, that you're going to jail." He went, bam. I mean, I've never seen a judge. I've seen a lot of things, but never a judge hit a gavel like that. You thought if that had broke, it flew out there and blinded somebody. But man, it was crazy. But yeah, he hit that down, and he said, "You're not above the law. You're not the law, and I warned you." And boy, he was probably mad. And here's his attorney. His attorney was found intoxicated in a dumpster. This ex-sheriff's attorney, they found him drunk in a dumpster. He wears a bow tie, and I said he may have got the wrong person to represent him, but I'm telling you. Then one time I had to sit on jury duty. This guy was working for a construction company, and a bulldozer rolled over his foot, and he lost his foot. And the company that owned the bulldozer and they thought that they wasn't going to pay him any money for his injuries. That thing backed up over that guy's foot. And his wife was a school teacher, and she had to take off from work to take care of him because he couldn't work anymore. He had a prosthetic and everything. And that guy thought he wasn't going to pay for that guy's hospital bills, and everything was put on a credit card. They was in debt up to their eyeballs. This was the owner of an excavating company, and they put him on the stand, and they said, "Mr. So-and-so, have you ever had any violations?" He goes, "Well, no." And then he turned on that thing. He said, what's that right there? And I thought that guy would melt and go right under his chair because he was so busted. So he lied. So it took us 2 weeks. We had one guy back there. I mean, this guy was injured, and they thought they didn't have to pay nothing. He was injured by a person on his clock. that backed up indirectionally, run over the guy's foot with a bulldozer. He lost his foot. So we made sure he got some money. And then what do we see in the paper that this guy said that the jury was snowed by the guy's attorney? No, we went with the facts. We was in there for 2 weeks. Then I had to fight to get my money. I said, look, they said something about, they always made this statement, well, that Clark County's broke. I said, I don't care. You take me and me come down 25 something miles down here to sit on a jury. I said, that's your problem. I want my money. I aggravated them for 3 days. So, and I seen this guy a couple years after that, and I asked him if he got his money, and he said, we had to take it to the Supreme Court, and we won. Hey, Lucy, welcome in. And he won his case, and he had to pay him and I was so glad that he got that money. And I seen him, and I recognized him right away, and he was in his 30s, and so he does wear a prosthesis, saying that the jury was snowed by the attorney. In other words, he was saying that we didn't have no brain, and I kind of don't like that. They presented see, what had happened was, these contractors are so much in a hurry to get that money. What happened was they stayed behind and finished up, and the other people went on to another job. So it was just 2 of them. There was no supervisor there or nothing, and a guy lost his foot, and they thought they shouldn't have to pay for that. They did, saying we was snowed, but I didn't sit up there for 2 weeks asleep. I listened to everything, but yeah, it was finally over. That's okay, Lucy. Welcome in. Then I got another one, and I had an appointment with the spine doctor because of my neck and everything. I've got degenerative disc, and so I thought, man, I'm desperate. I cannot miss this appointment. So I called the doctor and I said, can't you write me up something saying that I can't? And she said, well, you haven't been here in such and such. I said, you know what? Forget it. And I switched doctors. But it turned out they settled it. And I'm like, thank you, God, because I had that appointment. It took me 2 months to get it. And I have a rural white vertebrae back there, and they thought it was cancer at first. So I had to have that scan done, and I was a nervous wreck anyway. You hear the word cancer, and you're just, it's stifling. So they had a disc and everything, and the little guy comes in, you got your disc, and I said, I didn't know I was supposed to bring the disc. And he kind of slipped out, and the doctor came in. She goes, I've got a copy of it. It's not cancer. You have, it's a hemanoma. It's blood vessels to the surface of the vertebrae. And she goes, I only have one other person that I treat that you have the whitest vertebrae. Well, sometimes you gotta, I said, surely to God, they have not. And here I looked up and there was another thing. And I'm like, oh my God. But the attorney for the other side, I knew I was in trouble because that attorney, during the thing, every time the other guy's attorney came up to me, he would chuckle, and I said, you find what I'm saying funny? And he's like, and I got tired of him laughing. I didn't want to be there to start with, and he wants to laugh like that, so I just called him out. I said, what are you laughing about? And then I knew right then and there I was hung, and I knew I'd have to be on that jury. But I just got tired of it. I said, what do you find so funny? Everybody goes, oh. I just told it like it was. I didn't want to be there anyway, and his laughter kind of ticked me off, so I just called him out. I knew then and there that I was going to be Shane, because probably the other attorney knew I could see right through the bull crap, but I asked him in front of the judge, and I said, "What are you laughing about?" I got tired of it. I was wanting to leave anyway. I was hoping they'd throw me out. I didn't care, but I ended up sitting on a jury that helped somebody, and I felt like that was a good thing. But anyway, you have to go and sit in this, and they call you down, make you sit there, ask you questions, and it was just crazy. I thought, man. Off the stage. I touched something and it went, I had to come back in. That judge should be removed from the bench. I don't know. It was a female. I think the judge was a female, I think. But man, I didn't want to be there. I didn't want no part of it. And I was like, I was really horsey and I just got tired of it and asked him what he was laughing about. I probably looked really hateful. But anyway. But yeah, sometimes it's I'm so glad they settled that other one out of court because I didn't want to sit through it. And then Clark County saying, "Well, we're broke." Well, it ain't my problem. I had to sit on jury. You're going to pay the lady. And I had to bug them for, I was on that phone I was reminding them of that for 3 days and I got my money. So, but anyway. Anybody else out there in the chat had to be on jury duty at any time? Yeah, what Sheena just put in there, that's right, because you never know who. I was just so glad it wasn't a murder or anything like that, because in a courtroom anything can happen. But yeah, lucky me. Yeah, because you see a lot of stuff in courtrooms, emotional things, and 5,000 other things wrong with me. Yeah. And me, if they ask me a question, I'm going to answer it honestly. That's the way I am. But nope, I have to say I got to sit on one, and I'm glad it wasn't no murder thing. I don't know if I could, that or the abuse of a child or something, or a death of a child. I would get too upset. But yeah. The judge laughed over murder or crimes against women. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I've been watching some of these things on YouTube where it shows these convicted killers and when they're get read their sentence, and you see people, they might have killed somebody. You see one of their parents. I've seen this one parent dive over the table to get to the person. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That puts one in a predicament, that's for sure. But yep, and the judicial system's messed up anyway. You get people that they do these plea bargains, and my father-in-law always said they shouldn't allow those, for something they just shouldn't allow them. And justice oftentimes is not served. Somebody told me one time I look like Judge Judy. I'm like, well, I don't see it, but whatever. She's a mean one. You ever watch her in action? She said, shh, I'm talking. But anyway, she's married to another judge, I think, too. Well, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. Thank you so much for coming in. The jewelry wasn't all that I thought it was going to be, but hey, life life is a gamble every day you get up. So, but anyway, thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I love you guys. And you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye. Love you guys. Bye bye.